G'day. Welcome, my friend, to WTK, the What to Know Show. I'm your host, Peter Whalen. If you're involved in the management of a condominium, this episode is for you. If you volunteer to be on the board of a condo, you may also have a day job. And you may not be an expert on the management of condos or building maintenance. This show will give you the gist of what a condo manager with a general license should know. If you own a condo, it's good to know how your investment is managed. A condo manager protects the occupants, the owners, their employees, and the property. Up until 2017, any fool could manage a condo. No education or experience was needed. There are bad ones out there. Some property managers don't answer the phone. They don't return messages. They do the least amount of work possible. And they respond only to repeated complaints and then drag the process out for months and months. Or they may be great workers in a company that is so understaffed that they just can't keep up. If your condo is outside of Ontario, different laws will apply, but the gist of what I'm talking about will remain the same. When Ontario's Protecting Condominium Owners Act comes into force, condominium managers will have to be licensed. The Condo Regulatory Authority of Ontario will administer the licensing system, and hopefully that will raise the level of professionalism in this sector. The majority of people are honest and hardworking. Most people want to pay their bills on time and quietly enjoy their home and just be good neighbors. The first thing I wish I knew about property management is that every liar, every deadbeat, every troublemaker lives somewhere. And some of them may live in a property I own or manage. The Association of Condominium Managers of Ontario, ACMO, has been around 40 years. ACMO created the courses and standards for the Registered Condominium Manager designation, RCM. So far, there's about 1,000 RCM, but I bet there's about 10,000 condos in Ontario. So there's a need for more people like that. If you've been managing condos for over 10 years, you can try to pass the RCM exam. You're allowed 3.5 hours for the exam, and I'm told about a third of property managers fail to pass it. If you do pass, you're entitled to use the RCM designation, and you'll be able to get your general license. However, if you don't have the experience, you must pass 4 mandatory courses that cover legal, financial, maintenance, administration, and HR of a condo. I just passed all 4 courses, even got a couple of A's, but that's still not enough. The second thing I wish I knew is that my experience managing my own rental properties doesn't count as experience for a general license. I've been a condo board member, had some condo management experience, but you need at least 2 years of full-time experience to qualify for your general license. And the third thing I wish I knew before I signed up for these courses is that most people don't do all 4 courses at the same time. It was more work than I imagined it would be, and it amused the exam staff to keep seeing me showing up for every exam slot. The course material is over 2,000 pages, and it weighs over 25 pounds and costs about $680 all in. I wish I had known that before I enrolled. I would have ordered the books first and read them all before the course began. There are questions at the end of each section throughout these books, and that will give you a good idea of what you're expected to know. I recommend reading these books before you spend the $444 tuition on every course. You have to invest about $2,500 in cash, plus your time, to pass everything. You might find a deal on Kijiji where people are selling theirs. Ask to see the receipt and make sure they are recent purchases, because the books do change. If you work outside of Ontario, the legislation and courses will be different, but the gist of it will be the same. Mohawk College runs the program in Ontario, and you can sign up during your through your nearest college. I chose Sheridan because that's where you'll be writing your exams. The college will set you up with an Ontario Learn account, and from there you go to the actual course on a third website called Desire to Learn. Once you're set up there, you can go directly to it each week. The fourth thing I wish I knew, four things, is that you must be able to log on at least once a week. There are weekly chats, assignments, and quizzes. You can't do them in advance, and if you miss them, you miss them. You get a 0 for that section. The week after your course ends is exam week, so be sure to be around for that. I recommend starting with Introduction to Condo Law. It's the law that separates the condominium management from regular property management. It's about consumer protection, and for example, if you own your own house, there are loose limits on how you maintain your property. You can defer maintenance, letting the roof leak, paint peel, and leave windows broken. It has to get pretty bad before the government would step in and make you fix up your property. However, in a condo, there's a higher standard to protect consumers. Money is put aside each year for the inevitable major repairs. A wise homeowner will do the same, but it's not required to by law. Now, you can read the Condo Act for free online, so why pay $195 for the Condominium Act User's Manual by Audrey Loeb? Well, because it's worth it. A great deal of care and effort went into creating this. If you're on a condo board, I recommend having a copy of this. It's well organized, with first a section of the Condominium Act quoted. Then she explains what that section means in plain English. And then she provides case law to provide examples of how the courts interpret the law. The case law is a little repetitive, as the same case is cited many times, but I think that just reflects the reality of it. When I was a condo board member, I felt it was important to read this. I think there would be fewer disagreements if everyone involved in condos knew and honored what their rights and obligations are. I found it depressing to read much of the case law. So much of it seemed to arise out of ignorance or malice. The good news is that we're supposed to get better education resources written in plain English, and there will be a tribunal to resolve disputes cheaper and faster. There's also a glossary in the back where you'll learn the meaning of words and phrases used in the Condominium Act, such as subrogation, redound, and quantum meruit. Not words I use in polite conversation. The only thing I didn't like about this book is I had to use reading glasses for the first time. The print is on the small side. There are also 2 course manuals. Oh my goodness, I'm showing you nothing but blanks. There are also 2 condominium law manuals, and each of these is contributed to by many lawyers, so you're getting the benefit of not one lawyer's experience, but it looks like at least 100, I think, contributed to it altogether. And that's it for the law. Accounting is the language of business, and a condominium is a non-profit business. In the financial course, you'll set up a zero-based budget. You'll learn the 8 principles of accounting, prepare an annotated chart of accounts, budget variance report, understand how accruals and normal balances work, basic bookkeeping. You'll learn how to set up the operating budget, the reserve fund budget, and the cash flow budget. And then we have the admin and HR course, which covers basically the basics of running any business with a focus on condominium management. Then we have my favorite, the physical building management course. I learned so much, and it was one of the ones I got an A on. Before this course, I hadn't managed a high-rise condo. The mechanical, elevators, life safety systems, and pool maintenance was all new to me. In here, you'll learn what the various trades have to do to keep everything well maintained. There's a saying, how you do anything is how you do everything. I favor preventative maintenance. I've been driving the same car since 2000 and people still ask me if it's new. Other people don't change their oil until the car stops working. So for property maintenance, some will defer all work until the city orders them to do it. That's counterproductive and costly. You'll learn what to look for in the daily, weekly, monthly, and annual inspections that property manager does. And every course ends with an exam. To prepare for it, read the weekly chats and answer all the review questions. That will give you an idea of the kind of questions that you'll be answering on the exam. I recommend arriving about an hour before the exam starts. These campuses are quite large, and that gives you time to find parking, where to pay for parking, go find the exam room, and kind of relax a little bit before the exam starts. Good luck to you, but if you've done the work, you won't need the luck. My thanks to condo property developers Mickey and Seema Singh from Mississauga, who suggested this show. And is there something you'd like to know about? Email me at iwishiknew@peterwhalen.com. And would you do me a favor? Subscribe to this channel, like it, because that helps. Thank you for watching.
That's fairly interesting. This is the What to Know Show with your host, Peter Whalen.